Exactly.
Some days
Actually,
it is.
I've been sober for about over a week now.
That's good.
Almost 2 weeks.
Now it's live on fucking
Nice.
YouTube.
Going
Make it
strong.
on Facebook.
For you guys here, good time to take.
Are you in that little thing you were telling me about?
Yeah.
Although I like to make armor trainings quick and do it to the grade of who I am training.
This one's got a cigar and
Just
shit.
does take a while still. So go ahead.
I can
do that.
light up
I'll
a
be back
cigarette.
in a second.
So what do you do in that thing?
Actually
Like,
thinking about looking.
What,
to
in the
get
training
a,
or the unit
World
itself?
War II
oh, that's
stanza
what you're in training.
Yeah.
Gay.
This is the start of a 4 to 5 hour training, but it's broken to 2 days, so it should be like 2.5, 2
There's
hours.
this one for like $21, plastic, but it's got like the belt strap on it.
You should
But
apply,
on your
and then
belt.
you could do the next training, or you don't even have to do the training. And if you just apply, you can do the missions with this. If you don't do the training, you can't get different like outfits and uniforms and shit. And it's not really be a part of the unit, but you can still play when they do
Marshall,
the
Marshall.
stuff.
Yeah, what?
Right.
I would recommend that you increase your voice activity, especially if you're gonna watch things on your phone, because you could be at a deep read for a briefing, and that could be going on. Either
Oh,
that,
I
or,
normally just mute my mic. I didn't think
Yeah.
because I'm lazy.
yeah, no, you could do that. I did too. It's just some people's preference.
Oh, fuck their preference.
I wish I had a push to mute button on my mic, then I would just have a continuous transmission. But
You know, I have a mute
the fuck
thing
is this
on
share
my
button?
sound box on my mic that I use.
Huh.
yeah,
Normally I do that whenever someone
This
like
way.
barges into my room or some shit, which happens a lot. 'Cause people like to bother me.
alright, anyways, you ever play Medal of Honor Airborne, Marshall?
Nah, dude.
You know, I have a
Never.
Alright.
A mute
Have you done an
position on my
airborne
sound
drop with
box
this
on my
unit
mic
yet?
that I use. Kind of.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if Johnson, you have.
Normally I
at
do
all?
that
a
whenever
full,
someone like
um,
Not
barges
this
into my
unit,
room or
no.
some shit,
I
which
haven't
happens a
jumped
lot.
out of an
People like to
airplane
bother me.
in this unit. No.
No. So when you do that for the first time in an honor, anyways, trust me. Like for me, like it was my first time doing it. And all I remembered was Medal of Honor Airborne. I was so surprised how accurate that was that it made me have like little flashbacks of like me playing that game, because I was like really young at the time. I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I couldn't make it past the first level. So all it would be was me dying and then doing that airborne drop again. And
How
I
old are you?
died so much. I was like 4 or 5 years old, dude.
How old are you now?
I'm about 18.
About 18?
Well, no, I'm 18. It's been a few months though, so that's why I say about.
You're 18.
I just don't want to be 18 though. I don't want to be 19. I don't want to be 20.
Yeah, dude. I turned 20 in 6 months.
Damn,
Yeah.
dude.
Turned
Wait.
21 in 6 months.
Fuck yeah,
Hell
brother. Actually,
Alright.
exactly 6 months. Fuck.
So for this portion, I'm gonna take you guys in, do an introduction, who we are, what we do, go over the rules of the training, and then just ask you guys a couple questions as we begin. This is where you're gonna grab your kit, deal with any issues with Ace, and any questions you may have, and then we'll move forward. I will be your lead instructor today. Technician 4th grade Thomas Miller here. He will be my assistant. He will be helping you guys where necessary. You guys will be completing basic combat training phase 1. That'll be about an hour to an hour and 45 minutes as our maximum. At the end of the training, we're going to ask you a couple questions of what you thought of the training, how we can improve it. Keep those thoughts in mind when you're going through the training, and give us pointers. But do realize that this is an all-encompassing training, and we're trying to account for all skill levels. Everybody's required to go through it. So things that you may think need to be added or subtracted,
What,
just
man?
keep that in mind. Now, to begin, just want to make sure
Oh.
you guys understand how to use Ace and Acre.
Yes.
Fringe, lead the way.
I assume that is a yes.
Yeah. I said. Did you hear me? Yes.
Yeah.
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 All right.
Making sure it was working.
Have you
Yes.
guys used Ace gestures and all that stuff before? You know how to wave at people, tell them to regroup, whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So you can use your Ace interaction, or you can control in numpad and select the various ones that are there. all up to preference. One thing I do want to note, with Acre, AI can hear you, and you actually have an extended distance of speaking. Depending on if you're facing somebody or not, your voice will travel a great distance, and people will be able to hear it up to 100 meters. So if there's no combat going on, and I'm standing 100 meters away, and I'm yelling at you, you'll be able to hear me. If there's combat with yelling, you'll probably be able to hear me at 25 meters to 40 meters, but nothing beyond that, especially if there's active shooting going on. Most of the time, try to keep your Acre setting on 3 or that midway yellow point. 1 is whispering, which is no yellow bar or anything. 2 is the yellow bar, quarter of the way. 3 is orange, and 4 is all the way across or red.
And how did you change that just now?
I press tab and I scroll wheel.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's weird. I'm not getting it. My bad.
You
Never mind.
probably have it set to
I did
control
something.
tab because
Yeah.
of Prairie Fire. Alrighty. Now, sure you guys understand face commands, fall in and fall out, all that bullshit, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Won't be using it that much today, but that is used just to coordinate people, information, and whatnot. Do you guys understand the difference between combat spacing and just relaxed spacing?
Yeah.
No.
So for us, relaxed spacing, or when we're just on the move, not really worried about taking contact, about 5 meters. Combat spacing on the move is about 15 meters of separation. That is for individual soldiers. When it comes to teams, we'll be talking about the separation based off of the variables of contact. Beyond that, everything is pretty much straightforward and simple. Go ahead and get a column behind me, walking pace. We're going to move in here, ask you guys a couple questions about what you want to do, and then we'll get started. Column on me. Go ahead, both of you take a seat right here. Use Ace to take a seat if you can. And Miller, you can hide in the corner over there in that chair.
Great.
So, Mr.
It's
Johnson, you joined this unit, said you want to be a rifleman. Are there any changes to that as of now? Anything else you thought about doing?
No, just automatic rifleman.
Just automatic rifleman? Okay, Marshall.
Are you talking to me or are you talking to
I
somebody?
talking to
remember
him.
you
He's asking
mentioning something
questions.
about radio men,
Gotcha.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay, radio men, definitely still open. Definitely still need that, so if that's what you're slotted for currently. If any
Badass.
changes occur, let me know. Signal school is required after you complete our infantry and parachute school. Johnson, there are no requirements for the BAR because you are trained to use the BAR at this training specifically. Beyond that, do you guys have any questions for me moving forward?
No, don't think so.
Negative.
All right. You guys understand
Just us
everything
two.
about the Discord website.
He's gonna do this 2
expectations, rules,
hour
and all that
fucking
stuff
long.
we have in the server and out of the server.
Fuck that.
User.
All right. If I
That's
don't need to lay
commitment
anything
right
out,
there.
then we'll move forward.
Yeah, it is.
Let's stand up. Follow me. Now, while we move throughout this training, we'll be asking you guys to utilize the bucket pass as you can. Sorry,
What?
as often as you can. Bucket
Utilize-
pass is pretty simple. If I give you guys a command or information,
Killed a
pass
bird.
it down the line so everybody knows. Since there is no radios here, we need to ensure that everybody receives the communication down the line. So if Miller said enemy contact rear 50 meters, Johnson would repeat it, Marsh would repeat it, I would repeat it, and then I would give a command. It goes back down the line. Maybe skirmisher line facing rear. We go get online and respond to contact. That way, everything flows nice and easy. You'll learn more about that later. But for now, anything I say that's a command or some type of information that's need to be passed down the line, repeat it.
Copy that. Hey, Kazi Jackson just messaged me saying he's trying to join the server. I don't know if it's too late for him or not. Just letting you know.
Mm-hmm.
Kazi?
Yeah,
Kazi, Kazi's good to go. He can come in right now.
oh, he says,
He hasn't missed anything. Right about face, you'll find some little racks behind you. You're gonna go and scroll beyond that rack and grab the private trainee kit. Next with my chair. Johnson,
Well, sorry, I missed that last bit. I was texting him.
go at about face, grab your private trainee kit, and then we'll move forward.
Hello?
We're
Yo.
gonna be moving at a nice,
So,
relaxed jogging pace.
Look at the
outside
fucking
here.
first thing on their
We're
Discord
gonna move
channel.
over to our
This guy's talking to me
organization
shit.
and
I
history
can't
segment.
tab out.
Then
But he
after
said
that,
you can
we'll
join
be
still,
moving
though.
into
We're just starting.
formation. Or
Who,
sorry,
me?
weaponry instruction.
No.
Oh.
He's
Kaz,
a weirdo, man.
call him
He's
on
like,
the
oh, you're not
last
gonna be
page.
lit. I was like, bro, I have work. Shut up. Fucking weirdo.
Don't forget to repeat it. Come on, Johnson, you can do it.
What? Sorry, I'm trying to help
Follow
my friend.
Henderson, relax pace.
Relax pace. Follow Henderson.
Ranger.
Okay, so yeah, you're gonna have to just read in there, man. This is why you're supposed to get in the server before. I don't know why they don't do that in their training
Are you
process.
talking about me?
Yeah, you.
Bro, what?
No, days before.
I have work!
Not today, man. Like days before. You just joined in, just get your mods
Alright,
figured out.
in the future, when you guys do
No.
enter this server, you guys will be grabbing a kit from the arsenal boxes that reside in the barracks over to my right. And then once you are done, you will move on to the armory and grab kits off to the left inside of the armory. But for today, you guys will not be worrying about that.
Because you're gonna have to get your TeamSpeak figured out too. You might have to uninstall and reinstall it to get the fucking plug-in to work. Oh, he did. like, you don't wait until the day of the event, minutes
ahead
of the
and
event,
enter and
to try
sit
and
the
get
front
in
row
when you
for me,
haven't even
please.
gotten in once.
Alrighty.
I expect to be able to do it. Ow.
If you guys here know the history of the 101st Airborne in any capacity,
I do.
Yeah, I know some.
what do you guys know about it?
Pretty much anything from current to World War II.
There you go.
Sweet, sweet. You guys will probably appreciate this then. If not, I will speed through it as quick as possible. But it's part of Spirit Decor. So we're going to be going over the concept of airborne history and when it was established and how it can be vertical envelopment. And we'll be diving into the 101st, its creation, up into mid-World War
Maybe,
II.
babe, I'm doing this thing, okay? Babe,
So the earliest
Babe,
conception
I'm doing something,
of
okay?
airborne assault came from Benjamin Franklin
Sorry.
in the late 18th century. His version is not the same as our version today. He believed air balloons would be the way to do it. He called them falling angels. In 1917, though, Winston Churchill advocated for the first use of airborne soldiers as paratroopers. And then the following year, Brigadier General Billy Mitchell and Major Lewis H. Brereton devised what would have been the first airborne operation in 1919. But of course, the war ended in 1918, so that never happened. In 1927, however, Italy was the first country to conduct an airborne operation, but the first nation to use paratroopers in war were the Germans. The German paratrooper, or Fallschirmjäger, are the toughest soldiers that the Germans have in their armed forces to this day. They are primarily utilized as heavy infantry to our knowledge. The last time they ever conducted an airborne drop, to our reports, were in Crete, 1941. Now, airborne operations are a fairly new concept, created within the last 20 years. For us, it is a brand new concept. As a result, all of our airborne units are designated experimental units. The purpose of airborne infantry is to deploy anywhere and conduct direct action operations, whether they be airfield seizure, search and destroy, or plain infantry combat. So we are more of a light force rather than a line-on-line infantry force. Now, in reality here, the 101st Airborne Division was founded on July 12th, 2020 by myself and Technician 4th Grade Dusty in an effort to provide a quality World War II airborne community. Currently at the DI area off to the left. The objective has and will always be to provide an immersive, fun, and realistic airborne experience, and we closely resemble an airborne infantry regiment in 1945. In real life, however, the 101st Airborne was organized on the 2nd of November, 1918 at Camp Shelby, Mississippi. Then after 9 days, World War I ended. Not the best of luck. However, this wouldn't be the end of the 101st Airborne Division. On the 30th of July, 1942, the Army Ground Forces ordered the activation of 2 airborne divisions no later than the 15th of August, 1942. These 2 divisions would come to be known as the 101st Airborne and 82nd Airborne Division. The 101st Airborne, upon its reorganization into an Airborne Paratrooper Division, was reactivated and reconstituted to the United States Army, and then from there on became an Airborne Division, which is where we are today. Now we're going to be going over the organization we use. We have recently changed our organization, so these slides will be a little bit out of date. I'll let you know which parts are not up to date. But if you are already familiar with regular company organization and whatnot, we can breeze through this quite quickly. Now, company headquarters contains a command element, and then it contains a support element along with an attached medical section.
Ace Interact.
So the company commander is responsible for commanding the company, of course, delegating orders to his platoon commanders, and completing the commander's intent at the battalion level.
You have to do the Windows key.
So for us, that usually comes in the form of a captain. Then the executive officer, basically pencil pusher, and he helps with line work, making sure people are following orders and whatnot, moving in between the platoons, making sure everything is sorted. His job primarily is focused on the discipline and training of some of the other officers and working with the officers in completing the plan, while the first sergeant is about dealing with discipline and training of all the enlisted men. He's the expert infantryman, all that good stuff. Now the operations sergeant, this is more of an intelligence thing. Basically our game master head, Zeus head, whatever. Communications sergeant, for those interested in signal, that guy's the one that coordinates everything. He's the one that's considered an actual JTAC in modern terms. All the other Rotellos, RTOs, are basically just people holding a radio that know how to use it. Then radio telephone operator, guy that operates a 20 megahertz SCR 500. Down below that we have our attached medical section. The medical sergeant, which you can find over there to the left, is the person responsible for commanding the medical section, building the aid station, and establishing combat casualty collection points, and dealing with reinsertions and all that good stuff. Hey, yeah, Kazi, can you do me a favor and set your microphone to push to talk, please? I'm getting a little bit of feedback from your. Now, we also have 2 types of aidman. Surgeon aidman is generally going to be working at the aid station, providing surgery. You will see him in the field sometimes providing field surgery. Wounds reopen quite a lot in this unit. You'll encounter that quite often. You have to use multiple bandages or get stitched up quick. So when you do get wounded, once you're done with the fight, move back and move to him. He'll take care of it. Our general aidmen are assigned under our company instead of the platoons for easier organization. They're then pushed down into the platoons based off of who needs them the most. But generally you have first platoon, second platoon, and third platoon aidmen. These guys are responsible for operating casualty collection point and dealing with field care. Right here we have our August 1944 T-20. Now this is basically the same as what we use now. The only exception is we no longer have a mortar squad. We have a 3rd rifle squad with our opening of our 105 howitzer glider field artillery unit. The platoon commander, which would be me, is a 2nd or 1st lieutenant responsible for commanding the platoon and accomplishing the commander's intent at the company level. Platoon sergeant, basically the same as his 1st sergeant, but for the platoon level, deals with training and discipline of everybody under the platoon, as well as coordinating with squad leaders, making sure everybody's in the right position, doing what they need to be doing, all that stuff in the field. Radio telephone operator, same conditions as with the company radio telephone operator. And then we also utilize platoon runners as well occasionally. These are usually taken from the squads or any trainees or whatnot that we have during an operation that are capable of delivering messages. That's how we send messages in between the squad. Then we dive into our rifle squads. The rifle squad are the core infantry of our unit. They deal with all of the fighting and whatnot. So as you guys are going to find out, There are two elements to the rifle squad. You have the base of fire or the fire element, and then you have the rifle team or the maneuver element. The base of fire consists of the machine gunner who carries a 30-06 1919 A4, the assistant machine gunner, and the ammo bitch. All of these guys can be private to T5. Nobody in the squad progresses past T5 except for the assistant squad leader and squad leader. The rifle team consists of the automatic rifleman who carries a BAR, the grenadier who has a M1 Garand with an M7 grenade adapter, some heat rounds and some fragmentation rounds, and the rifleman who carry the M1 Garand. Each person in the squad carries quite a bit of rounds, explosives, and sometimes there will be multiple grenadiers or a bazooka assigned to the squad. And sometimes, if you're lucky, an extra machine gun. The assistant squad leader is basically that of a fire team leader for the rifle team or the base of fire. In the absence of the squad leader, he becomes the squad leader. And then outside of that, the squad leader is the one who's mainly controlling the squad and telling everybody what to do. Not too much different from a modern infantry squad if that's what you're used to. The only difference is we do not use fire teams whatsoever. That'll conclude our squad, platoon, and company organization. We're going to go ahead and move into weaponry instruction and then move to rifle qualification. Everybody go ahead and stand up and then column on me, relax. Don't forget to sound off. Column on me, relax, pace.
Come on, Henderson, relax, pace.
That's what I like to fucking hear.
Come on, Henderson,
Let's
relax
go.
face.
That's what I like to fucking hear.
Rangers, lead the way.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. Wait a sec. You're an airborne. Paratrooper. Alright. Come over here and grab your training range kit. You have to scroll down to grab it. Also, you guys will notice that you guys have these stinky infantryman boots because you are not paratroopers. That is your incentive to complete training as quick as possible. Just letting you know. Alright, come over here. You guys are going to crouch, look at the bottom of the stand, and you're going to scroll wheel and open the map. Kazi, go over to your left and grab the private trainee range kit. You guys are going to open the map.
What?
Once you have it open, scroll wheel a little bit down. You'll find the rifle range amongst the assortment of ranges down.
Babe, I'm doing something. He's telling me something. I need to listen.
Wait, where are we going?
I clicked on the base facility like an idiot. Alright. Follow me. Go ahead and take a seat right up here. We'll be running through these pretty quickly.
Why
You guys are
can I
familiar with
not?
these weapons. Let me know. I'll just give you the U.S. Army designation and what we utilize them, or how we utilize them. Go ahead and bring out old Betsy here.
You told me to turn it up. It was already at like over 80.
You guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright.
What?
Up here at the top, we have the U.S. rifle, caliber 30, M1.
Yeah, he's like talking.
M1
I'm
Garand
doing this whole thing.
contains, 8-round M-block clip, 30-06 M1 Springfield or M2 ball
I can't go in there and turn the fan on. No,
all riflemen.
you can.
Next up, we have the U.S. rifle, caliber 30, M1903 Springfield. That is the earlier variant, replaced in 1936 by the M1 Garand, but is still in use by the
What are you bitching about?
marksman and by the U.S. Marines. That utilizes a 5-round tracer clip or a regular 5-round clip. Below that, you have the 1918 A2 BAR or our automatic rifle. That carries a 20-round box magazine, 30-6 M1 or M2 ball. And then below that, you have the U.S. machine gun, M1919A4. That is our primary light machine gun in the Army. There's also a M1919A6 variant, which has a stock and a bipod attached to it. We'll use the A4 variant as that's the one that's compatible with the tripod. Now across from the Garand, you will find the Garand with the M7 grenade adapter on it, which is capable of firing 22mm heat and fragmentation rounds. And below that, you will find the M1903A4 Springfield, which is the Springfield with the 2x magnification optic. Below that, you will also find the M1A1 Thompson, or the U.S. submachine gun caliber 45.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
You have a sniper? Can I be a
Yes, we
sniper?
have a platoon. We have a platoon marksman.
Is that me?
I don't know. Is it going to be you?
I don't miss.
We'll find out. All right. Now, the U.S. submachine gun caliber 45 is utilized by the squad leaders and sometimes by privates at their request. Carries a 30-round box magazine. Below that, you also have the 1919 A6 variant that I was just talking about earlier. And then across from the M1 Thompson, we have the U.S. pistol caliber 45 M1911, which is chambered in 45, has a 7-round box magazine. Then at the top right, we have the U.S. carbine caliber 30 M1A1. That is our paratrooper carbine used by the paratroopers. It has a foldable metal stock on the end and a rubber plate. Below that, you have the regular M1 carbine variant. Both of these take 15-round 30 caliber box detachable magazines. And then below that, we have our 60mm or 2.36 inch M6 rocket launcher. Or sorry, my bad, M1 rocket launcher, which is what we use to primarily take down fortified positions and tanks. Now in front of you here on the right, here is the M2 tripod that you'll be using today with your machine gunnery. This is paired with the 1919 to get a more stable position. When you're in the tripod state, you'll be able to use 100-round belts instead of 50-round belts.
Hell yeah.
Then all the way over here on the right, we have our M2 60mm light mortar. This fires white phosphorus, high explosive, and canister illumination rounds. But now that we've moved over to our 105, we have things such as FS, mustard gas, and other chemical gases that go along with it. But stand up, follow me.
Follow Anderson!
Yeah, that's why I like to fucking hear. Let's go, sound off.
Solomon Anderson.
Oh, Anderson.
What are we saying?
If
So,
Colin.
Kazi, the purpose of sound off, since we don't have radios, everybody needs to be able to hear the information that's being passed down the line, the command that's being passed down the line. So, whenever a command is given on the line, we try to pass it down. So, say your ship is sinking, and to save time and energy, you guys are all passing a bucket from the edge of the ship to where the hole is, and you're passing a bucket of water to take the water out, right? That's the analogy for today.
Copy
That's
that,
basically what
sir.
the bucket pass is. Hell yeah.
Everyone on the way!
Yeah,
What?
that's what I like to hear. Fuck yeah. Alright.
no, I wasn't allowed to talk. I'm
Please,
not looking at
guys
you.
Grab a M1
I didn't-
Garand with 4 clips for me, please.
Hey, I'm not even.
You have to ace and racked on it, not its inventory.
now, thank you.
If you're not familiar with using Ace Arsenal, you're going to ace in a rack.
What are we grabbing?
You're grabbing an M1 Garand.
Garand?
Do you want highball, tracer, clip, or regular?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
And MR,
Airborne solely
M1
exists to support
Garand.
infantry.
How do you know if you got it?
It's in your
Um,
hands.
What do you mean?
It's
You
in
can
your
see
hands.
yourself, can't you?
You can use the mouse to move your screen around to look at your character while you're on the arsenal.
Oh.
I didn't find that out until like a week ago, and I've been playing this game for years.
Wait, how do
Yep.
I know how much ammo I got?
You got to go to your clothing on the left, and then if you look on the right, there'll be a single magazine icon,
What do you mean my clothing?
like your backpack
left.
or anything.
Wait,
On the
what
left-
are you talking about?
On the left-hand side, you should see clothing. If you, are you holding the
You're
Windows?
tripping. You're tripping.
On the,
And do
on
you
the
guys want a cigarette?
On the left side, there's a bunch of icons
Don't
such as
stop.
your gun. Just where you selected your gun, there's other options on the left where it says handgun, launchers. Just go to the uniform, the vest-looking icon, or the backpack-looking icon. From there, once you've clicked one of them, you can click on the right, far right against your basically border of your monitor. You'll see icons just as so, but there is a single magazine icon. Once you've clicked that, those are all the magazines that work for your weapons. You
Did I
can
get
select. You should be able to.
If you press I and then click on
Yeah.
and look at wherever you put it,
Oh, I'm locked and loaded, boys.
double press
Yeah.
control so
Don't
you put
shoot
your gun
anybody,
down.
please.
Wait,
Just
did you
hit
say?
double.
Press
hit double-
control twice, left control twice.
Your
There you
left.
go.
There you go. And then if you press the 0, it'll put your weapon on or take it off your back.
What? Oh.
You guys want to hear about a fun fact about airborne?
No,
Go right ahead.
It exists solely to support infantry.
that's cap.
Hey, what
Well,
about
really
this
that
one?
shit.
Do you know what the
You need to
AA
do the
stands
job
for
of
on your
infantry.
shoulder?
Alcoholics Anonymous.
All American.
We're not 82nd Airborne.
Oh, it's true.
101st, what are you doing?
Don't you still have the same thing?
Wait, isn't? Wait, never mind.
No, you have a Screaming Eagles. Alright. Come over here real quick.
He's not 82nd Airborne.
Line up in front of me, shoulder to shoulder. Get everybody all nice little school circle.
I when I scope, I have to tap it. I wanna be able to just hold the-
What does he do?
the
Alright, just wait here.
down sights. Infantry? Yeah, yeah.
Oh, is he talking about hold the aim down sight?
Hold the aim down sight. Yeah.
So you can't do that in Arma. You have to right click once to aim down sight, and then you hold. Yep, you once to click down sight, and then you right click again to aim out of sight. And if you hold right click, you'll zoom in. All right. Go. I'm just gonna go over some principles of combat marksmanship. I'm gonna keep it nice and simple, as this is still a video game. You guys
Sight
are
picture.
using. That we'll be using that picture later. That picture is just the types of fire that we're going to be utilizing. So, combat marksmanship for us. 5 principles. You have your stance, stamina, breath control, support, and range. So with Arma, you can range your sights in with page up, page down. It'll display in the top right. You can deploy your gun using C. You can either rest it actively on something. You don't have to press C, but if you press C, you'll get a better resting experience there. If you're using a gun to bipod, you'll deploy the bipod. And then with your stance, if you're standing up, you get a harder time aiming down your sight. You're not going to get a nice sight picture. It's not going to be all centered. Try to stick to being prone or crouched. Now, when you're doing your rifle qualification, which you'll be doing later, it'll ask you to stand, it'll ask you to crouch and whatnot. Just follow that instruction. I'm just giving you general tips in the field. Now, 30-06, drop-off is about 300 to 400. It starts to drop off, but not by much. If you're an inch high on a target, all you need to do is go up 1 click down on your ranging, and you'll go down to that ranging properly. So if you're shooting what you suspect to be a 300-meter target, and you go up 2 inches, that means you're at 100 meters. So 2 clicks down, 100 meters. That's how you know.
What?
Now, general thing for stamina, if you're running a lot, you're going to have a hard time getting your sight picture back up and getting your gun on target. So try not to run too much. We try to keep a relaxed pace when we're moving around. You are still carrying 40 to 50 pounds of equipment on you, and sometimes 60 to 70 pounds, even though you don't have body armor or anything special. Now, if you're going to be engaging any moving targets or anything like that, remember, 1 round will put them down, focus on accurate and precise fire. The general rule of thumb is, if it's 50 meters, it's going to be a half body length. If it's 100 meters, it's going to be a full body length. And then 200, 300, it's going to be 1 or 2 full body lengths if they're running lateral to you.
What does that even mean?
Perpendicular to you. You'll find out when we practice it. I'm just jotting down the notes now. Now, for this portion, we're going to be going over the types of fire, and you guys can be practicing with Garand, getting a feel for it, all the recoil and everything, and make sure you guys understand what it's used for. And then we're going to drop into the BAR, then we're going to do your rifle qualification, then we're going to do some bayonet sparring, and then focus on shooting at moving targets. Miller, can you please take Kazi over to the 3rd stall and go over the types of fire that we employ, and
Hey,
have
Drew.
him do 1 clip of each.
Alright, come with me, Kaz.
Johnson and Marshall, I'm going to tell you guys what to do, and then I'm going to entrust you guys to go and do them individually, and I'll pop in between you guys.
Alright.
So here, we have point fire. Point fire is pretty simple. You're firing directly at the target, accurate and precise fire, looking to kill. Close range or long range shooting against a deadly target like a marksman or something, that's when you use it. Area fire, usually used reconnaissance by fire, or if you're reacting to contact, you're not exactly sure where the enemy is, you just know the general direction. Area fire, you're putting one down the center in relation to where you were on the line, a little bit to the left, and then a little bit to the right, and then you repeat that cycle. One thing I do want you guys to note, with area fire and suppressive fire, you may have 30-06, you don't have a lot of it. You usually only carry 20 to 26. That's not a lot at all in comparison to what you could carry in a modern load. So you should have about 2 to 3 seconds in between each shot, and try to time your shots with everybody. That way we're not all reloading at the same time. And then the note onto reloading as well. If you're reloading, call out loading or reloading so everybody else can pick up the fire and make up for the fact that you're not firing.
So on suppressive and area fire, you want us to not aim at the targets?
No. So area fire, like I said, is
You don't
recon
know
by
where-
fire.
You don't know where the enemy's at, but you're just firing blindly, right?
Not necessarily. So area by fire, maybe we're doing reconnaissance by fire, right? And the platoon leader wants us to fire at some bushes across the way, right, to see enemy if there's enemy over there that responds to us. That would be an example of area fire where you, quote, don't know where the enemy is. But in relation to where you would know them, say you get shot at and a scout calls 12 o'clock, 50 meters, man under that tree, and he points in that direction, that's the direction you're firing at, and you're trying to, like, just generally suppress him, but you're not letting loose a bunch of rounds. Does that make sense?
Kinda, yeah.
As you go along with your squad, you'll get a feeling for what the difference is between the two, but the gist is, area fire, you can still see the target, or you know the target's general location, it just has a lower fire rate.
Gotcha.
So you guys are going to be practicing point fire on each of these targets. You're going to be getting a feel for the Garand, and I'm going to have you guys come pair up over here, and you guys are going to fire at these groups of targets in front of us as if you were on line, like you're firing at a group of targets.
Okay.
So go ahead, unholster your Garand, Johnson, head over there, and send 2 clips downrange.
Gotcha.
And Marshall, you go ahead and do the same here, get a feel for the weapon.
Loading.
Once you're done, holster your weapon and wait for my instruction. Miller. Once he moves on to area.
Loading. Holding.
Alright, go holster your weapon, follow me. Alright, wait for Kazi, and then all 3 of you guys are going to be firing at a group of targets.
Do you need to grab more ammo?
Nope. You guys are you're going to use both clips for this portion.
Okay.
And then we're going to move on to the BAR. Now, this is pretty simple and easy to understand, but I am going to give an example just so you guys know what I'm talking about when it comes to area fire. I'm also going to put some bushes down so you guys get an idea of when it would be used and what you'd actually be looking at in contrast to the target and when you'd be using area fire. Go ahead and do that now.
What's this?
Say again.
Oh.
Oh, that's our rifle range qualification system.
Does it keep track of points per stall?
Yep. It also tells you what medal you have. It deducts a point. If you're not in the proper stance, it'll rest your weapon for you automatically. It does a bunch of stuff.
That's cool. That's something they were always working towards when I was playing in the Arma 2. was trying to keep track of the points without having to sit there and count.
Yeah. I remember having to do that, and then got the system to work.
Why is he so?
Is he still firing? Holy shit. Okay, there we go. Man wants to put fair in those targets. Alright.